Today's epistle reading is from the first epistle that is attributed to St. Peter. Now, it was written by some unknown artist in Asia Minor, modern scholars believe, around the year 100 AD, and was written during the time when the Romans were persecuting the Christians at severe measures. And so it comes out of the early church trying to deal with what they were going through with suffering, and also still working through theology about what happens when a person dies, about baptism, about what happens to people who died without having had the opportunity to be converted. And all those things are wrapped up in this little short text. And they refer back to a time in legend when people went through another time that was a catastrophe, and how they were a number of people that were saved from that catastrophe. So here is a writing attributed to St. Peter that the early church in the first and second centuries decided was worthwhile being included in our canon. Here's a reading from the third chapter. For Christ also suffered for sin once and for all, the righteous for the unrighteous, in order to bring you to God. He was put to death in the flesh, but made alive in the spirit, in which also he went and made a proclamation to the spirits in prison, who in former times did not obey when God waited patiently in the days of Noah during the building of the ark, in which a few, that is 8 persons, were saved through water. And baptism, which this prefigured, now saves you, not as a removal of dirt from the body, but as an appeal to God for a good conscience through the resurrection of Jesus Christ, who is gone into heaven and is at the right hand of God with angels, authorities, and powers made subject to him. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.